Beyond the realm of Navoria lies the Forgotten Lands. Perhaps this province, inhabited by the reclusive but welcoming Englands, holds the key to the mystery of the strange new continents that have risen from the ocean. Your adventure begins as you set off to establish contact with the Englands and ask for their wisdom. We are set up for that solo play of Explorers of Navoria. So for the solo setup, you'll see I have these little markers around the map. Also, I have a side quest card and a, what do they call it? A solo difficulty card. So I am going to do it on the easiest difficulty, which means I am going to then grab a yellow card and add it right to my tableau. In this instance, move me one on this track right here. And I get this, so I flip it over. I get a sword. And this kind of goes off to the side. And then I also get to build a trading outpost in the mountains as well. Alright, so I will get into a couple more of the differences here. Oh, forgot to reveal this card. So if you did not watch the unboxing and how to play, I'll put that right up here. Because of space constraints, instead of having the 3 out, I am flipping the third card on top of the deck. Normally you wouldn't do that because you will be placing the disc on top. But that is what I'm just doing based on, again, space constraints. Also, what is different from that is I have the gray deck out for this one, which means I have the gray island, and I have the gray discs in the bag right here. I also have contracts because the contracts will be being used to trigger the ability, which now I will finish going over this card. This gives me an ability I can use as many times as I can afford it. This would be in Phase A, though, in the recruit. And I can spend 2 to swap one of my cards with one from the display. I do not trigger its ability. It's more so to get certain colored cards or certain symbols I may need. And then the card I swap, I put into that row. This will also give me some end game scoring. Over here, this little side quest gives me extra points based on stuff and other abilities. In this instance, for every sword I use to do a sale, will give me an extra point. The swords I'll put on this card. Once I have done 5 swords, I will move once on the mountain. But what am I doing with all this? Well, when you look at Chapter 1, so I already did the additional setup. The additional rules is when one of my exploration markers lands on or passes a space with a solo token collected and gain the benefit. You already saw me do that. They are on all the spots with flags. My chapter objective is I need to get all exploration markers, these guys, to space 3 or further on each exploration track by the end of the income phase in round 3. Again, we will not be doing a return phase in the last round, so the return phase isn't going to matter. It's at the end of the income when we go into final scoring. I will also need to have claimed at least 6 of these 9 exploration markers, or what do they call them? The tokens, which I've already gained 1, so we're already 1/9 the way there. And then all of the solo games, you need to score at least 110 points at the end of the game to win. If you get higher, you get a better ranking. All the normal end of game scoring will go into effect. I'll get points for these. I will get points for my soldiers. But in this instance, I'm also going to get 2 points per yellow card I played. And then, as I said, I'll be gaining more points as I use the swords. If you aren't sure how to play, again, that was in that video that was linked prior. With that all being said, I think it is time to start. I will probably play through the first round, fast forward through the second round, play the third round. That way you can get an idea of the game. So we are going to grab out our 2 discs, and this is going to be our first choice. So we can grab another yellow card, or we can grab a gray card. Gray cards give you a bunch of stuff and have 2 colors, which are good for scoring, but they do not have the species or the races, so we are not able to get those to help satisfy these. but sometimes what they give you is more beneficial. I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab one of these yellow ones. We're going to grab this one because it gives us a point. It gives us another sword, which we know we want to use for this to get points. And then it allows me to put another outpost out here on the mountain. And if I get the outpost out enough, then that will help me get to those 3 spots that I need also to get those tokens as I'll move up on those and help satisfy orders when I do them. Unfortunately, it was not the same symbol, but maybe I can get something here in the future. I'm just going to move this over so I can put that there. Alright, so now I can choose either to use this one or to draw from the bag. I think I am going to draw from the bag. I am going to go until I have drafted 4 cards. So we have the other yellow, and we have purple up here. I think we are going to do purple for right now because there is a lot of movement on the tracks. So this one would move me there, which would get me another one. That's 2 on the mountain regardless, and then 2 in the forest gets me 1. This does get me to another flag, so I think we are going to grab, we have a lion, so we are going to grab that one. So that is move, oh, that's a forest. Yeah, I'm good with the forest. 1, 2, flip this over, we get another sword. Well, we're just going to plop that sword right in. You know, we're going to plop it there because I just realized I started undoing that one. So that is my second one. Now the third one, again, I could grab this. I could get my third one out in the mountains and not even have to worry about that. I'll just boop right there. That would be a good possibility. And then I can start getting crystals over here, maybe satisfy some orders. That is what we're going to do for our second card. Let's go here. Let's grab this one, which is going to give us 3 points right away. It is going to let us put out this one. My explorer marker isn't there yet, so I do not get that. But now once I start getting this, I am going to be getting a bunch of other stuff. I just have to get that order built up. Alrighty, that was that card. I don't think I want to do that gray one. So I'm kind of hoping for a green one personally. There is a high likelihood, and we do get our green. So we can do a green or blue. Blue would give me points and those, but I think I'm going to go with green. So I was originally thinking the swords to load up my swords, but I don't have that symbol. This would give me 3 of the lion symbols. I think we are going to take this one. So that is going to be 2 points, a crystal, and an apple. And that is my third lion head now. So when I take these, so looking forward, I know I'm going to be getting 2 more crystals. So I could put my crystals here because I know I'll be able to satisfy something there. I can get a sword here, so let's go ahead and plop that apple right there. So that is it for the recruit phase. Now we go into gather. That would normally be reverse turn order, but again, it is just me, so I get to do them all, so I can do them in whatever order I want. So let's start with this, which is going to be 1, 2 points, 2 crystals. So we'll put a crystal here. We'll put a crystal there. I have completed this order. So we'll put the sword on there. I have used a sword, which gives me an extra point. We then look down here. I can move 1 more on the forest. I get a point per green card. I have 1, so that is 1 point. The next one I'm going to do is I think I am going to go to this next one. That gives me 2 more points and another crystal. We're going to put the crystal right there. So this one, move on the mountain. A point for my green card. Up here is another point. A point for the green card, so I might want to start getting some more green cards. And then a movement anywhere. So I could move there and get that one, but I will be shooting up to there, so that's not a big deal. Instead, we are going to move further here. That gives me another flag. This gives me a crystal. And we are going to put the crystal right there. So that is triggering that order. We're going to come right here, which gives us 2 apples and a good of our choice. So we are going to grab a sword, drop a sword there, drop an apple there, drop an apple there. And then finally we put this one, which lets us put out any of our trading ones. Kind of thinking maybe I typically don't go up much on there. Or I could do the forest. That way I'm not shooting all the way back to the beginning with it. Plus, I have been accomplishing those. So yeah, we'll put our forest one out right there. So that is the gather phase. Next up, we go to the income. So income, we are going to look. We just have this single card. It's going to give us 1 point per flag we have made. We've gone to 1, none, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3 points for that flag. Like so. And then it didn't say for sure. I'm going to assume I still get them for being on the track. So that's 3, 6, 9. It didn't say to do that differently that I remember seeing. So that is the income. We now do the return. So return is you go to your furthest trading post. In this instance, it's that one, which gets me this, which is a good of my choice. And I have gotten 4 of the 9. I think for that one, we are going to do a sword. Our sword puts us right there. We do the swords. That is going to be 3 points per sword, I believe. Is it per sword or just whenever you use? For each one. So that's going to be 3 points for that. We move on the mountain. We get a point per green card twice and that one. So that's going to be another 3. Did that and then move on any of them. So I could move and get that final one. I could get this one. You know what? Let's finish off this track. Again, a good of my choice. So it would make sense to grab a sword. We're going to put in this middle one. Or we'll actually put it right there. Done. So by putting that there, we have accomplished this one as well. So we move 1 on, or we did the sword. So that's a point. We move 1 on the forest. We get a point per green card and 2 points, so that's 3. And when we accomplish 5 of these swords, we move once on here, which is going to get me 3 points. And gets me that guy right there. So that means I now have an additional symbol in addition to that one. If I could have moved 1 more, I could have gotten that one. Oh well. Well, I think he would have returned by then with the return phase, which actually right there. So I think maybe I leave him there. That's where like some of the rules in the solo are going to be kind of weird with that is by getting that, I triggered stuff and moved him forward. So I'm going to just leave him there for now until I figure out differently. So that is the income. That is the return. Now I'm going to clear and discard all of these cards away. All right, I've set up these. I've put the discs back in the bag. In a 2-player more game, you would then reset the turn order. Whoever's furthest ahead in points becomes first player. I'm the only one, so I will be still the first player. And with that, I think we are going to fast forward through the second round and maybe halfway through the third round because those play exactly the same. Moving stuff, returning, all that. Really, the end game is what will be a little different. So I'll probably bring it back maybe in the gather or income phase in round 3. Timestamps will be down below if you want to just jump right to there. here we are about to start our last gather step. You'll notice I moved 5 when I was resetting the board and doing all that. I had forgotten when I did income to grab it from my flags. And I just used my special ability of turning 2 contracts in to switch out a card. I didn't need that one anymore because it's a yellow, and instead I'm going to be scoring for these, so I grabbed another pink. That's got that guy, seeing as I'll be scoring points for him, pink cards, and now I'll be scoring 3 points for every flag I have passed. So we are going to be doing the gather. So we'll just go ahead and stick this over here. I think we can choose whichever, so we're just going to go there to get the 1 point and the 1 contract, because I can't do anything with the contracts anymore. Oh, although I did give up a yellow card, but I am scoring 2 points, but I'm pretty sure I'm good with points. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could have, but I'm scoring points for green as well, so it's a wash. Alright, so we did that one. Next up, we have this, which is just a straight 6 points. So I have accomplished 110. We put this one out, which, again, if I can choose where, I want to actually go here and move this one forward, and that will give me a good of my choice. Let's go ahead. We're not going to be getting enough goods to actually trigger something, so we'll just put that there. This one comes out for 2 apples and a good of our choice. So I was 1 shy from being able to get another order, but that is my 4 gathering. Now we do income, so again, let's make sure I don't forget. First, our income, 3 points per flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flags. Times 3 is 18. That is 28. 1 point per that symbol. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 35. Again, the 9. So that's 144. And that will trigger the end of the game. We do not do the return. I am on spot 3. I'm on spot 3, and I'm past spot 3. So I have accomplished that objective. I actually did 7 of the 9, so I've accomplished that. So let's move into end game scoring. So end game scoring will be my soldier is 2 points per outpost in the forest. I have 2, so that is 1, 2, 3, and 4 points there. Then we look up here, 2 points per green and blue. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that is 10 right there, is 58. 3 points for pink, 1, 2, 3, and 4, so that is 12. That puts me at 70. And then this one is 2 points per yellow, 1, 2, 3, and 4 is 8. So 178, which just pushes us in that one. So if I was not supposed to get the points for the tracks, that would be minus 27, so you'd be looking at 151. So I'd still be in the silver. So I am somewhere between 151 and 150, or 178 and 151. Again, though, that was on easy, and this is the first one, which I'm assuming is one of the easier ones to do as well. And again, I wasn't 100% sure if I did that right, that, with the return phase, he then grabbed it, because that is one of the things it says. It doesn't specify when that happens, so that might have just been a weird little glitch there, but even so, I definitely still won it at 110. It's just whether or not it's in that silver or gold range, also at the end of round income. So that was the first chapter. If you want to see more chapters, please head below and comment that you would like to see the other chapters done. There is 5 in total. Also, while you're down there, you can please go ahead and hit like, subscribe, comment about, want to see another one. Share the video so other people can discover this game. You can also help support the channel by hitting our Ko-fi and buying me a drink to toast to the victory that we had in Explorers of Navoria. I know this looks like a bunch of madness, but it is because of the space constraints I have of the recording. Typically, you'd have more room, and these would be out more, and you'd have stuff in front of you as opposed to this madness over here. But I still hope you were able to follow along, because this was very similar to the main game, just without, obviously, these tokens and this end of game and all that. But that kind of, there is some stuff in the expansion that you can add kind of this similar stuff to the two-player experience. But that was the long preamble goodbye to say I will see you when I explore again.